I'm Chris Haws, and I saw on Instagram that you guys didn't have a presenter, and this morning around 7:30, while I was taking a shower, I was like, you know what, I'll just text Amy and see if you guys had anyone, and you didn't. So I decided to come all the way down from Salt Lake and share an idea that I've been working on. So we all know there's plenty of event planners out there, right? There's just so many. One thing I've realized is that when I use Facebook, all I use it for is for the events anymore. Just because of the contacts that are in there, like the people that you know. That's where people invite you to go to weddings. That's where they invite you to do a lot of things for the personal events in general. So one thing that I like about that is like a lot of your friends are there. There's a lot of personal connections that you can make through Facebook. But there's a few things that I would change about it. And so this is what I've come up with. I guess I'm used to having like something right here to point at. But if you can look at the first slide there, usually it's just an event creator. And you know, you can like create an event inside this, pull your contacts from Facebook or these other places, and just create a normal event with your friends. It also shows you the attendees, the people that are coming to it. The second slide there is what I really want to talk more about. And what it has is like the first dark button there. It has a live feed. So one thing I've noticed is that at events, there's people taking videos and pictures all the time. And so what we've created is like a wall like Facebook where you can post content and people can comment on that information. But more importantly, you can also have a live feed. So in this room, we could have 2 or 3 people video, just like a video live feed of their perspective of what they want. Has anybody been to a wedding lately? Okay. Right now, weddings are because of COVID, you can only go, there's only so many people that can go to these things. And when you have a limited amount of people that can go, there's like grandmas and grandpas and cousins that just can't go to these weddings because they're at risk. But now they can participate with these events because of people like you who could set up a camera and like record the first dance or record them eating their cake and live feed that for those who can't go, and they can still participate. Now the rest of the app is just like any other apps. You can like content. I mean, you can register. You can send messages to the event hosts. But the second thing that makes this a little bit more unique than the rest is that all the content that is created goes towards the host. So how many times have you guys been on an event or on a vacation and you're at the event and then you have to like find a place that everybody share your content? Someone's like, okay, like, Mom, can you send me the photos that you took of me? And it's just like a mess. Like everyone's like trying to find, okay, we're gonna do this through text message, we're gonna do this through GroupMe, we're gonna do this through Dropbox, Snap, like just all these different places. And it's very hard to keep track of all that content. And we know that there's a lot of professionals out there that are paid to do that for these events. But what if there are other photographers in the crowd that aren't necessarily paid to do it, but they still take photos? So now you can get like premium content from everyone that's like source from the crowd versus everybody or just one particular person who's paid to do it. So like by raise of hands, how many of you guys are photographers or videographers? So we got one. Has anyone ever, what about like if you like post a lot on social media? Like we all kind of do it, and none of us are professionals, but we can still take good photos. And the good thing about this is that the people that I think are important aren't going to be the people that you think are important at the event. And so when you create content, you might get photos and videos of people that the host or someone else might actually care about versus people that they don't care about. I mean, there's always those people that I don't care who this is, but I've got a professional photo of them type of situation. So now you have more information. The way that we're thinking of monetizing on this is that for all the content that is collected, you pay like a service fee for the cloud for storing that content for you on a monthly fee. I don't know how much it is yet. We're just spitballing, but you have a certain amount of time to like download that information or to delete what you don't want, and then it would just be a cloud service fee after that, as long as they want to keep that. So that's basically it. Just been working on this for just a little time, and it's still in the idea phase, but welcome to any feedback that you guys have.
I'll give you a couple things. First of all, it's perfect. I mean, I got married, you know, in the dark ages, when they had the big flash thing, but the best pictures we got was from a friend of mine who took pictures in black and white. Mm-hmm. The photographer sucked comparatively to what a friend did. And so I can see the advantage of having multiple people shoot at a wedding, you know, because some people get the exact perfect shot that the photographer is busy, you know, and so you have huge input. That's great. I think you have a great opportunity. Your monetization, I think, could switch a little. If you just looked at it as a data bank and you're selling information, that might be better for you, because it kind of a freeze thing, but you're gathering information and data sells. And so you have all these new people, all people who attend weddings, all people who get married. You have all this data, which is a little intrusive, but it's still very nice to have and sell. And that might be a better monetization than saying rent from the cloud, etc. You know, that's when I was like, oh, how much do it cost to this? And it might be easier for you. But I think it's a great programming. We just had a wedding in Bakersfield. You know, there were like 20 of us. The previous wedding was like 500, you know, and it's like the same family, but huge difference. But people could have been participating in the event all across the globe even, which is way cool. Which makes this really nice. So the participation aspect says, hey, you have family members who are in Kentucky who aren't going to come out, or in Australia or New Zealand or China or Thailand, they can participate in the wedding, which is kind of really a cool thing.
Thank you.
I don't know a ton about the event space. And so I'm just going to point out from my experience, maybe an issue that doesn't exist, but I'm just interested in seeing how you've thought about it. So when I think of events or participating events or hosting events, I see them as kind of a concrete, finite thing. There's this anticipation, then the event happens and it's over. Your model requires people to continue paying for that event over time to some degree, or at least servicing it to some degree. And I don't know if you're looking at the end user for that revenue model, or if you're using that for an event planner or somebody who does it professionally as a revenue model there. But basically, how have you matched what your product offering is with the way people see and comprehend events generally? How does this fit into how people think about events at this point?
That's a good question. Events definitely end, right? And you would have to. That's a good question. It's something that for anything to be successful, like really successful, has to be something that people keep on using. And I don't know if I really have that figured out right now. I'm open to suggestions. I do know that with my group of friends, we use GroupMe all the time, and that's where we send messages through. And so one thing we thought about is like creating like an exclusive friend group, and that you just keep that open and live as an event that keeps on going, or like a group that keeps on going. And you just create events within that group every time you guys have something that comes up, and then have an open for businesses, because live streaming, the good thing about that is like you could actually have professional businesses be a part of this, where they just upload the live streaming through this app. And so businesses, maybe we have a better package for them where they pay a certain amount for the higher quality video to be on that.
Well,
it might be a better thing for business support than it is for end users. It's that sort of thing. Look at where are the holes that event planners or people that participate in events, what are they seeing in the market, and kind of look at that. But I like
Good
it.
idea.
well, I think especially now with events not being the same as they used to be, to give event planners an avenue there. But I think you can actually have two pricing models. You can have the end user one where it's like, we just want to do it kind of ourselves. We pay for this one event. And you may kind of purchase the access for that event, and then even create a revenue stream off on the back where all the guests, if they want to like sort of download or get their own, package or portfolio from that event, they can pay for that. Maybe that's even a revenue share with the event host. And then you can have the other, which is more kind of the enterprise offer, where you have the event planners and they get some additional features and they can have multiple concurrent events and different things like that. And that's a subscription model. I'd look into apps like Eventer, Wedding Snap, Cluster. There's a few other apps that are in a similar space. But then I'd actually look at Clubhouse and see what they're doing from kind of an engagement ongoing perspective, and some of the hurdles they're facing. Because if you're talking about ongoing events, Clubhouse is very much about ongoing events, if you want. And so I would take some lessons from them too.
Thank you.
I think there's another aspect of this that's overlooked, and that is just holiday activities. This last year, most of experienced not being with family. And so now you're looking at an additional, not just an event, a yearly, happening massive on a regular basis, like, Christmas, Hanukkah, and Rosh Hashanah, Halloween, doesn't matter what it is. These are all key events that you want people to be at, and some people can't, or they miss them. We miss things that happen in Texas. Wish we were there. We'd love to be part of the event. Now we can be. It's so there might be another spin on this to attract more people to it. That's the event, but holiday activities, family activities to share on a broad basis. Because more and more people, I just look at my own kids, they're just spreading out further and further away. I got nieces and nephews that live overseas. So, gathering together doesn't happen anymore. So I think that might be some aspects to expand this a little.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm Jeff Bummy. We're first time here, so that's kind of interesting. I've been involved in the big data for a number of years, and this, to me, it's kind of a data thing. What if another revenue stream would be where you get your clients or these customers get involved and do kind of a profit sharing? There will be some clips or some photos that they may go check. I want to be included in this, where you as the owner of the software market these, just like you've seen in website where you can select, pictures and photos for, whatever purpose, advertisements, whatever. You can pretty much do the same thing here with the agreement, of course, from your client, right? It's another stream where you kind of share a profit with them.
So like a Shutterstock or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe even what you're saying is like, okay, if a photographer or videographer goes to an event, they can like do their live streaming, and if they get like ratings or something, or I'm just saying, like, just spitballing here, but like someone finds out that they're good, and then their content, they can like sell that to
they can monetize it.
They can monetize it.
You share that, right?
Yeah.
But once you share that as part of your agreement, is that you also become kind of the, maybe not an owner, but a shared organization or entity to be able to use that data, we'll just call it data, whether it's photos and you can use that then to also to sell the analytics and things like that out of that as well, for other opportunities, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't think of one right now, but when you have data, there's a lot of things that you can do.
Right,
with
right,
it.
right. Like I know like places like Shutterstock and all those places,
Mm-hmm.
they use a lot of that. So just that content or data would be worth something if people allow us to use it.
Right.
All right. If there's no more questions or feedback, we have one last question for you, Chris, and that is, what can the 1MC community do for you?
Okay. I've been thinking about that all morning. And what I'm looking for is right now it's just me, and I'm paying a buddy to do this for me. So I'd be looking for anyone who's like a business dev type of person, or someone who would want to move forward with this in like data or like programming a little bit more. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for.